All right, lovelies, let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to show you how to make my mushroom Wellington tarts, and they are absolutely delicious. And especially if you just want a hint of gourmet style food, I'm going to show you how to make them so quick and easy, along with my delicious baked carrots, red onions, and bell peppers, which is absolutely delicious. And last but not least, I'm going to show you how to make my collard mustard and turnip greens, all combined into one, without missing the smoked meat. So stay tuned. All right, lovely. So now I'm going to simply take my vegetables. I went ahead and cleaned off my vegetables, soaked them, and I'm just simply taking my carrots and removing that skin on top here. I'm going to go ahead and do that for all my carrots, and then I'm going to simply just slice up my carrots as well as my bell pepper and my onions. Going to place some vegetables in the oven. I was going to get some parsnips, but they were not on sale, y'all. So I just decided against getting them. But nonetheless, I'm going to continue the process. So y'all stay tuned. And look at my beautiful carrots. Oh my gosh, they're so nice and clean, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and simply slice them. And then I'm going to do the same for my red onions as well as my green bell pepper. Okay, so my vegetables are all cut up and they're ready to be seasoned and placed in the oven. So I'm going to add some smoked paprika to the mix, along with some garlic salt and some onion powder. I'm going to take some cracked black pepper or some just black pepper and grind it, along with some dill weed. Make sure that you season to taste as you see fit. And then I'm going to take a little bit of grapeseed oil and sprinkle that on top. Make sure that I massage out my vegetables, allow them to be seasoned very well, and my oven was actually preheated at 375 degrees. I baked my vegetables for 20 minutes until the carrots were nice and tender and they were ready to go. Stay tuned as I make out my mushroom Wellington tarts. All right, it's mushroom Wellington tart time. Okay, so I have a combination of Cremini mushrooms and Shitake mushrooms, and then I have some red onions. You can use yellow or white. So I'm going to actually not put these in a food processor, but I'm going to cook them down just like they are. So I'm going to take me about a good tablespoon, healthy tablespoon of grapeseed oil, add it to my non-stick skillet, along with my rinsed off very well Cremini mushrooms as well as my Shitake mushrooms. You don't want to drench your mushrooms because mushrooms naturally contains water, and you're going to make them even more dense if you do that. So I'm adding a lot of red onions here because I simply like red onions. But you can add more or less onions as you see fit, as I'm always going to encourage my viewers to season to taste as you see fit. I am just simply trying to give you a concept, give you the idea. So we're going to cook these down and they're going to naturally actually start to brown up. I'm going to add some vegan W sauce. I can't say the word, is Worcestershire or whatever the case is. I get tongue tied, but y'all should know what I mean by now. But anywho, I'm going to add that to the mix along just with my mushrooms and red onions. It's going to give it a nice balance of flavor. I don't have to over season them. And then I added some cracked salt and then some cracked pepper. And then that was it. So if there's excess, juice or liquid, you can just simply drain it out so that your tarts are not mushy. Then you want to give your mushrooms and onions a good old mix. And then you want to simply set this to the side. All right, now we're going to build out a little greenery to our mushroom and onion tart. So I added 1 tablespoon of vegan butter to my nonstick skillet, along with some fresh spinach leaves. And I'm going to allow this to be able to wilt down. And once it's wilted down, I'm going to simply add that to the mushroom and onion mix as well. Now for my puff pastry, I'm going to use my go-to, which is sweet Loren's. It's gluten-free and vegan. I'm going to simply unroll it, and I'm going to actually slice it into 4 squares because I wanted to make tarts. Initially, I was going to make 1 whole full mushroom Wellington, but I was like, you know what, I want some tarts. So I went ahead and put a little bit of butter on top of the baking sheet, vegan butter that is, and then I just simply took my slices of my puff pastry, placed them on all 4s, and then I just simply took some wilted spinach. As you can see, I'm building out my tarts, added that delicious, smell good mushroom and red onion mixture on top of there. I mean, it's looking all beautiful as well already. Next, I took some Dijon mustard and added that to the mix as well. That's going to offer a nice little kick, a nice little tangy taste. And then I'm taking a little melted vegan butter and adding it on all four corners of my tarts and simply building them out. Now, there's no rhyme or reason. Visually, this is what I actually saw in my head. So I just simply wanted the mushroom and onion tarts to actually showcase themselves in the center. So I didn't want to cover them up all the way. And voila, you guys. Now, I love my mushroom Wellington tarts, but my husband is a true strong fan of them. He actually loved these so much. He was like, babe, you need to sell these. Like, literally, we smashed these, you guys. If you want to actually ante up, like, when you're hosting a dinner party for a nice appetizer, these mushroom Wellington tarts are bomb. I'm just going to simply say that. And I just added some fresh thyme to the mix as well. All right, we're at the home stretch of this video. So last but not least, I'm going to show you how to make my collard, mustard, and turnip greens. So I simply soaked my greens. I literally rinsed them 4 to 5 times. I kid you not. I do not have OCD, but even if I did, I wanted to make sure my greens are clean. I added some baking soda to it. You can add a capful of vinegar as well, whatever your cleaning method is. But I wanted to feel better to make sure all the dirt and the debris rose to the top of the water. Now, once my greens were thoroughly clean, I simply rolled them up and then I cut them. But you can also slice them, as I've done many times. I took me some boiling hot water and then I added my greens along with the Better Than Bouillon vegetable bouillon mix. I added some garlic salt to start building out the seasoning for my greens, along with some onion powder, smoked paprika for that nice smoky taste. Again, season to taste as you see fit, lovelies. I added a few chili pepper flakes, so you want to make sure that you monitor your level of heat. I added 2 capfuls of grapeseed oil to the mix as well, followed by 3 tablespoons of some white vinegar, you guys. So that is pretty much it. And then I went ahead and mixed out everything into my greens. My greens simmered on a medium low heat for about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours. And then once they were nicely steamed, you guys, and wilted down, they were ready for me to eat them. I added some vegan bacon buds for the extra smoky flavor. I did not miss any meat. I literally don't miss any meat in my greens. That's just me personally. All right, lovelies, this concludes my episode. So if you enjoyed watching it, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let me know in the comments if you plan on making all 3 dishes.